is here with more. And we've watched this for years, them, dig into their own pockets to provide for the classroom.
Absolutely. The burden, as you said, really does fall on the teachers here. And we know that millions of students across the U.S. are gearing up to head back to school in the coming weeks. But purchasing supplies for the classroom, it's going to fall on the educators. To cover the cost of classroom supplies, teachers are telling us that they are using the power of social media to ask for donations to cover those costs.
It's just there's so many teachers that are on, whether it be Twitter or Instagram, posting their wish list, and a lot of like the basic supplies, whether it be like sanitizer, pencils, tissues, snacks. These are things that aren't really, and the budget we get from our district can't really like buy those things.
Back to school shopping this year is expected to break sales records with $41.5 billion in expected spending, a 12% increase from last year. But for many educators, like fourth grade teacher Diego Napoles, they will be dipping into their own pockets to purchase supplies for their classrooms. According to the National Education Society, more than 90% of teachers will be using their own money to cover items for their students. Some teachers, like Napoles, have turned to nonprofit organizations like Donors Choose to help with the cost of basic supplies.
Definitely pencils is number one. Pencils for me. Books is a big one too. I've had to do a couple of Donors Choose and Amazon wish list and ask my own social media account, like friends and family on Facebook, things like that, to say hey, we're starting the school year. Would love to, get some new books for my students this year.
During last year's school year, My e-learning world found teachers spent on average more than $820 for classroom supplies. While the IRS raised the amount teachers are able to deduct from their taxes last year to $300, that only covers a fraction of total spending. To try to help with the costs for both teachers and parents of students, at least 18 states across the U.S. are offering tax holidays or temporary waivers on items like school supplies or clothes. But the tax breaks often only cover a small portion of what consumers typically spend on back-to-school shopping, and often only apply to a small sample of products. And teachers say the supplies they purchase are essential.
Kids are kids, and getting these textbooks and the paper, the bare minimum, we need the supplemental stuff that really helps them thrive.
And education experts say teachers should check with their school districts about their needs for the classroom supplies, saying some will be able to replace outdated items. Other options include comparison shopping for deals or trying out lower-priced brands to cut costs. And Adrienne, Markey, I will say, as I was researching this report, I was a bit nostalgic. I used to get so excited about back-to-school shopping, particularly a new set of crayons. That was always my favorite.
Same.
I just know I have friends who have kids in schools, and they would adopt the school. And so a group of them would cook meals for the teachers, would provide hygiene products for students who couldn't afford them, and provide school supplies. So it's going to be a lot of good Samaritans, really bridging the gap.
Yeah,
for
I
sure.
think to have those supplies in place, I think particularly for public schools, so often you can see the has from the has-nots, and to have those supplies in place so that all the kids feel prepared and like they have what they need to succeed is so important. Of course, they're reaching into their own pockets and paying more than $800
Teachers make a huge difference.
because that's a calling for them, and that breaks their heart to see kids show up with nothing.
Well, hopefully these teachers get the support that they need financially.
It's going to take a village, as always. Thank you, Emily.
Thanks.
Still ahead this morning, family members of those